everybody, and welcome to the Gamers Table for the 50th time this channel. How cool is this? This is episode 50, and what better game to show you than the McDonald's game, right? The object of the game is you're trying to fulfill orders, which are these order cards right here. And I think there's about 10 of them or so, give or take, 10 or 15 of these. And the first person to get to 25 points wins the game. Now, each player has their special tray with all their ingredients in here, and then, like I said, the first person that makes it all the way over to 25 first wins the game. Now, let me show you how this works. You start off with 4 characters. You have Ronald McDonald, you have Mayor McCheese, you have Hamburglar over here, and then you have Grimace in this corner. Now, obviously, they start in the corners where their pictures are. So you see Grimace is next to Grimace, Ronald McDonald's next to him, and so on. So that's how you begin the game. Each player will have their marble corresponding to the color on the base. So you see blue would be Grimace, white would be Ronald McDonald, Mayor McCheese yellow, and Hamburglar is green. So each player will have their own marble, and you'll see what happens with these in just a moment. So let me set these here. Hopefully they don't roll over the place. There we go. Now, here are the 8 ingredients that are in the game. You have the Big Mac, you have the hamburger, cheeseburger, fillet of fish, hot apple pie, chocolate shake, French fries, and cookies. Each player starts off with 3 of these ingredients in their possession. Now, you can always house rule this, like Norm from the Board Game Museum. I think he says that when he plays, he starts with 2 each. I think that's great because you have plenty of opportunity on the board to get ingredients. So I think, even if you start off with 1 each, I think might be a good idea as well. But in the rules, it says that each player will start off with 3 each of the ingredients. Now, what you do is I'll show you the places on the board here. Most of these are self-explanatory. You get the McDonald's gift certificate, you take 1 card. These are the cards that you'll be drawing throughout the game. So, for instance, if you take 1 card, you'll take 1 of these. It's a hot apple pie. Now, what happens is the maximum you can have is 3 of each ingredient. So if you have more than 3, you have to place this face down next to you, and you have to hang on to that until your next turn. Now, during your next turn, you can cash in your extra ingredients for points. But make sure you don't touch the die. This is one of the cool rules in the game. Once you touch that die, and if you have any extra ingredients, you automatically lose that ingredient, put it in the bottom of one of the stacks, and that's it. If you cash it in before you touch the die, you will get 1 point for every extra ingredient you have. So, for instance, if you had this, you want to put this in here, I want to cash this out, you put this on the bottom, and you'll get, actually you start off with 1, so that you'll have 1 point. So you'll get 1 point for every extra ingredient before you touch the die on your next roll. So you make sure you want to do that. So you see here, you deserve a break today, you get 3 cards, you'll pick up 3 cards. Instant bonus, you take 1 card. McDonald's gift certificate, take 1 card. So it's pretty self-explanatory what you do. Until you hit, let's go to McDonald's. Once a player lands on, say you're coming up here, you go, let's go to McDonald's. Now, this is how this works. Each player is going to take their marble in their hand, and the player that landed on that space there will read off a menu card. So what this person's going to do, the player that's Grimace, is going to say, okay, the order is 2 cookies, 1 fillet of fish, 1 cheeseburger, 1 French fries. Now, as soon as you say please, players will start frantically going through their trays and trying to fulfill the order. So, for instance, you got 2 cookies, you're going to grab 2 cookies from your tray, you're going to say fillet of fish. Now, this is when you're having to remember this, because as soon as the player reads this, he puts it face down in front of him so no one else can see it. But you cannot start your order until the player says please. That is the most important part. So what you do is you get the cheeseburger, and then the last one here is French fry. So as soon as you feel that you've fulfilled the order, you're going to take your color marble. For instance, let's see, this player will say it's Ronald McDonald. You're going to throw your white marble in there. You'll be the first one to go. And then say Hamburglar comes second, and Mayor McCheese comes third. See, he's yellow. And after all players have fulfilled their order, you're going to look at the order of the marbles down below. Now, even if the first player throws their marble down, you still want to fulfill your order because that player could be wrong. If that player is wrong, then you go to the second highest marble, and that's when they read off their order, and if they get it right, then they win. So You might be slower, you might be faster. It doesn't matter as long as you get the order right. That's the most important part. So let's say that Ronald McDonald looks at his order and says, okay, I did 2 cookies, I got a fillet of fish, and I got a cheeseburger and a french fry. Yep, you are correct. Now, how you score points is if you fulfill the order, you're going to get all the points that are in the red. So you get 2, 3, 4, 5. So this card, you will get 5 points. You get 2 for this, 1 for this, 1 for this, and 1 for this. So you add up the red numbers when you get it correctly. So Ronald McDonald right there would get 5 points for this one. He would go up to 5, and so on. Then these ingredients will go to the player that landed on that square. So whoever was Grimace would get these cards. Now in the first play, you know that all of a sudden he's already maxed out on all of his stuff. So this next turn, he can say, okay, I want to cash these out without touching the dice. And he would get 5 points for these 5 extra. And you put these back into the stack. So then he would go up to 5, and so on. So that's how that works. Now, and pretty much that's all you do is you pretty much just roll the die, you move one, take 1 card each from each player, and that's when you can actually choose which one, because these are all face up. Everybody can see what everybody has. Now, the strategy involved in this is, say this player has only like 1 Big Mac here. You know, say he only has 1 Big Mac and maybe like 1 hot apple pie. You could say, okay, I want to take, Grimace, I want to take your Big Mac, and, oh, that's 1 card from each player. I'm going to take your Big Mac from you, okay? You don't necessarily need to have it. It could be extra if you want. You don't have to, you know, if you have 3, if you're already maxed out, it doesn't mean you can't take another one, all right? So what happens is, if someone else lands on let's go to McDonald's, and the order card asks for a Big Mac, guess what? Grimace isn't going to be able to fulfill the order. He won't be able to get the points for it. So you can use that for strategy when it comes in play, when you're taking 1 card from each player, or you have another one on here where it says, may I help you please trade 2 cards. So you can actually trade 2 of your cards you have, you know, you can do 1 of each and then try to go for ones that he doesn't have anymore. Say, for instance, I can do, okay, I want to trade a hamburger cheeseburger for your hot apple pie and your chocolate shake, and say he has 1 left of those, I can actually, you know what I mean? He's going to go this way, he's not going to have 3 ingredients. So you can really use it to your advantage when it comes to trading or taking a card from another player. So you want to keep that in mind. And that's pretty much how the game works. I mean, it's a very simple game, very fun to do. I know Matt Wilkes on his channel, I know he mentioned he would love to play this McDonald's game in a McDonald's, and I absolutely love that idea. I think that. Now let me show you some of these order cards. We have here, sometimes they're simple. Well, it sounds simple, but it really isn't. Because when you're reading these off, you're saying, please, you're trying to remember all these, and there is no rule that you have to read it again. So you want to make sure that once you read one, you really want to stick it to your head. You stick in your head what you're trying to put together. So you got some there have a few more, but then you have some tougher ones. Now remember, once you read all these off, the player cannot start conducting the order unless you say please. Well, in this case it says double the order. I feel hungry, please. So now you got to remember, instead of 1 1 1 1, it's 2 2 2 2 2. Then you have another one here, which is very interesting. It says, wait, I want a Big Mac instead of 1 of the cheeseburgers, please. So that makes it even tougher, especially on this one. You got 2 cheeseburgers, 2 hot pies. You have to remember I got to take 1 of these cheeseburgers out and put a Big Mac instead. So it can get pretty difficult on some of these. And then you got this one here. Forget the hamburger. Make it a cheeseburger instead, please. So you can tell it can get pretty hairy. And like this one here. Wait, double the shake, please. Then you got to remember to do 2 shakes instead of the 1. So it's not as easy as it sounds. So it can be pretty darn difficult. So anyhow, my friends, that's how you play a McDonald's game. Like I said, the first player to 25 points wins the game.